Out past Louisiana's bayous, in the gray-blue waters of the Gulf, you'll find a chain of iron islands that never sleeps. An offshore oil rig is a noisy, grimy, cramped existence. But for the roustabouts on deck and the roughnecks manning the drill, life on a mechanical island has rewards all its own. The pay, for starters. Average income on this island, more than $80,000 a year. Veterans make well into the six figures.
I've raised a family off of it, 3 kids, sent them to college, own my own home. And it's just a way of life. I don't think I could go back to a 7-to-3 job.
That's Biker Mike, as they call him, a Harley-riding, Bible-reading roustabout who helped hoist us aboard. Here comes my ride. You see, there's no harbor for this island, no place for our supply boat to even dock. So we commuted just the way the rig workers do. It's a good way to get to work. The contraption provides little in terms of comfort, but a lot in terms of the view. That was our entree to Hercules 173, one of Chevron's shallow water rigs, about 3 miles off the coast. We were invited here to see how its 48 residents both live and work.
10 o'clock, fellas, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
We got there just as the shift was changing.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Those rousted out of their bunks were getting ready to begin their 12-hour workday, noon to midnight. The living quarters are what you might expect. Part barracks, part locker room. Space is a luxury an oil rig can't afford. But what the rig lacks in creature comfort is more than made up for by the food. Keith Sullivan is the rig's cook. Cookie is his nickname, and boy does he put out a spread.
I have chicken and sausage gumbo in the pot with rice. I have pork and beans. I have smoked sausage, broccoli and cheese, onions and mushrooms. I have onion rings, cornbread, dinner rolls, jalapeno bread.
He was even grilling steaks out on deck.
This is really the highlight of the day for the crew. You know, they work out there pretty hard, 12 hours a day, and that's really the highlight of the day, to come in and have a decent meal.
Besides eating and emailing, there's really nothing to do out here except work and talk about home. Chuck Brantley has worked offshore for nearly 20 years, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. As difficult as the labor may be, he says it's the time away from loved ones that's the most taxing.
It's hard on the family, real hard. Well, everything that happens when you're out here. You know, when you have a family emergency, it puts a lot more on the wife because she has to handle a lot more stress.
They are a family away from their families. Michael Broom has young ones back on shore.
It ain't too bad of a life out here, you know, but you do have to have a special heart for it. You know, it's not for everybody.
He works deep in the bowels of the rig, in 120-degree heat, given off by 2 deafening mud pumps.
You get several hours into it and you're like, man, I just wish it would end, but you know, it's still gonna tick on. Them 12 hours last a really long time.
But beyond the long hours is the risk. Those who work out here know environmentalists would rather they not be here.
Rigs listed over about 70 degrees. Mostly everybody got off, still got people missing.
Especially after the Deepwater Horizon disaster. They know one mistake could cost the Gulf another spill, or them their lives. Brandon Scroggins is confident lessons have been learned.
It's not really a likely thing to happen. That's a worst case scenario, and you know, this is my livelihood. This is, you know, it's in my blood. That's not gonna run me off.
We left the same way we came, leaving behind a crew who didn't have time to notice. They were too busy keeping their island home running and counting the days until they too get back on land.